They can see you putting drops in your eyes. Yep.
Get my Visine on, yo.
Yeah, I got these little drops here. These drops are expensive, man. They're like $30 for a little bottle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I got bad dry eye, man.
Yeah, you got to buy these things that have like no like anything unnatural, all natural stuff in there. Because if not, you're going to mess up your eyes. These little drops, the good ones are like $35.
Oh, wow.
What's up, Sam Salinas? We got some announcements to make, man, for you guys. I was looking at the numbers because there is such a thing as us looking at the data, right?
Well, let's talk about this in the show. I think
we're going to talk about it, but I'm just saying, like, we're going to talk about how much you guys are loyal to us, like how many hours you've all spent watching us. And yes, you all might not know this, but you all accumulate points as you're watching us. So we're going to show the leaderboard, so to speak. That's a little tidbit here. Look at this. Sam Salinas says, I'm done with this week of death. Rip John Amos. Yeah, man, it's been a rough week for celebrity deaths. We've been losing people left and right, man.
That's right.
Chris Christopherson. We lost the lady, what's her name? From Harry Potter.
Yeah, the Dame.
I was like, man.
Cowboys are underdogs this weekend.
Yeah. And then we got some NFL football to preview because we got one that might not be too bad this week. We got a good Thursday night football game. Some Devontae Adams news.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
Happy Hump Day, San Antonio. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio. We talk sports, pop culture, nostalgia. We're going to get into it. Apologize for being a few minutes late, but just nature of the beast when it comes to things. I'm excited, Joe, for a variety of reasons. One, I'm wearing a Saints t-shirt right now. Let me lower this so you can see the logo.
There you go.
The thing about it is that my sister bought me this shirt, I don't know, a year ago. Never fit. And I mentioned yesterday that I've had my lowest weigh-in of the last 2.5 years right now. So it's funny, you guys make fun of me on Twitter and you start showing old photos of myself and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is that I've lost more than 20 pounds and the clothes are fitting better. One shirt size down, about 3 inches on the waist, Joe.
Nice.
Someone give me some props here. Now, it's not Matt Lerma because Matt Lerma is doing an amazing job with his weight loss journey. But going to go lift some weights today. I'm excited. I'm a little bit thinner. I'm about 8 pounds, 10 pounds away from being effing cute. You know, I miss hot boy summer, Joe, but
hot girl summer.
Yeah, but hot boy winter might be upon us. I am looking
Mike.
at going someplace in the Caribbean this winter.
No, man, you're still pan dulce, dude.
So Friday show, we're gonna have a guest host. I'll probably be on the show at some point during the show, but I was talking to Joe about what are we doing this week, and I realized I'm getting divorced, or at least getting the process going this week. Friday, I'm in court, so I completely forgot about that. So thank you for reminding me that I have a court thing. I should be out by the time the show starts, but again, we'll have a guest host, and I'm going to try to jump in on the show. So we were talking earlier this morning, Joe, about how we have statistics on, how many subscribers we have and things like that. But did you know that we have intel on our listeners? The intel is basically who specifically is watching the show. Tell us about it, Joe.
Yeah, so we keep track of like who's watching the show, and whether you guys believe it or not, you all have been accumulating points. So the leader of the board right now, or leader of the pack, should I say, is Sam Salinas. You have 495 points, and you've watched us 41.25 hours.
Yeah.
Your total watch time in minutes here, because this is Value in minutes, 2,475 minutes.
That is 61 hours worth of watching this show. I
Yeah.
dig it.
Look at this. Mario Cavazos. He has 353 points. Watch hours, 29.42. Total watch time, though, a value in minutes, 1,765.
So today, getting over 60 hours, if that's the
I mean, this is just page one. By the way, this is how many points everybody's starting to accumulate. So we're gonna do something with these points because I knew I was gonna. I turned on this data a while back, right?
didn't even know it existed until this morning.
Yeah, so I was looking at it yesterday. I said, let me take a look at this data, man. And I'm like, y'all have been accumulating these points. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start like an email newsletter that we'll get out at the end of the week, right?
Right.
And it's gonna have everybody's points. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna be able to turn these points into actual prizes. Dude.
Yeah.
So like some of the things we're gonna wind up giving away during the show on Friday to the people who have the most watch hours here. We're gonna give out like these little medals, Spurs medals, and it's also a Chimuelo medal from the hockey team that used to be here.
Nice.
You can't buy these anymore. You can't find them around anymore.
Yeah, we were talking about we have a Wemby, a Rookie of the Year card to give away. We have some
autograph stuff. So this is going to be given away. An authenticated autographed Tony Parker photo for your man cave. We got one with the great Iceman here, Magic Johnson. These are all authenticated. We got another one here to give away. Sean Elliott in the old school.
All-Star one.
All-Star one when it was here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And we do have a Keldon Johnson autographed pick here that we're going to wind up giving away too.
So we're going to be doing this weekly on Friday. So are we going to be able to reset these point values every week and say who's the most viewed watcher of the week?
I could do that, but I think by rewarding our most loyal followers here, it gives them some incentive to watch us.
The most loyal should benefit first.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is that maybe we do a weekly thing, where we have weekly points when it comes to it. But very cool, man. Again, we do sports, pop culture, nostalgia. We have a big show as always. Lots of things to get into. Dude, we'll talk about another famous celebrity death, which is weird because it was announced yesterday, which was October, but the death happened in August.
Yeah.
And it's another star from the movie Coming to America and Good Times back in the day. We'll get into that as well. But here's the thing, sports related. We can go in a lot of different directions. We have the baseball playoffs getting going. The Astros lose game 1. How do they bounce back from that loss yesterday to the Tigers? We can talk about that. We can talk about the fact that Thursday Night Football is going to have a good matchup for once, Falcons and Bucks. Von Miller suspended from the Bills. Okay. What about, can I interest you in Devontae Adams being available? And right now, only 5 teams having the cap space to make it happen. One of them being the Dallas Cowboys. And the idiocy, the craziness of the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders getting in on it. And by the way, Devontae Adams coming out and saying that he has a wish list and he has named 2 teams. He has named 2 teams, Joe.
I saw that.
And one of them I tend to cheer for. So we'll get into that as well. Wemby, dude's getting bulkier. Wasn't the whole thing last year? We can't put a lot of weight on him, his ankles, his feet. And now we take a look at him, night and day difference. The guy has bulked up. Joe, I'm going to let you choose the direction of the show on this one because we have so many things to talk about today. What do you want to get into first, Joe?
I think one of the things that we should get into first is really MLB wildcard talk, man.
Okay.
And let people know what happened yesterday because a lot of these games, some of them went on early, man. There was like in the middle of the day, like at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, the Astros were at 1:30 yesterday.
I got to say, man, I was watching this game, right? As I was working. Astros look shook, dude.
That's exactly what you texted me yesterday. You said they looked shook. And I saw some of the game.
They look shook.
But why did you get that impression?
They just, man,
because
Detroit's pitchers.
Because this is a team, by the way, that has all the experience in the world and has been division title winners, 8 years in the last, or 7, 8 years in the last decade. So for you to say that they're shook was kind of weird. So tell me about it.
Yeah. So when I was watching the game, I was just looking at the Astros body language and it just didn't seem like they were ready, dude. They look shook because this Detroit team is better than advertised. Their pitching was on par, dude. I mean, it was giving the Astros fits here. You know, they couldn't get anything going. They just couldn't get in any type of rhythm. And credit to Detroit for putting together a great scheme there to keep the Astros at bay. Even Altuve, when they struck him out when he was at bat, he kind of just looked at the ground. He was like, shh.
Yeah.
Like, man, this guy's pretty good. Their pitcher. So I think that if the Astros, they can't rally up, and they're going to have to try to do something here because they got a short turnaround, they're going to be done, dude. They're not going to get past the wild card.
Well, the guy that they went up against, forgive me if I get the name incorrect, Tariq Skubal, who was the pitcher there for the Tigers, almost had the Triple Crown this past year. He had 18 wins, which was the most in the major leagues. He had the most strikeouts with 228, and he had the second best ERA at 2.39. The best ERA was 2.38.
Yeah.
So he almost had the best ERA, most strikeouts, and most wins. Almost at the Triple Crown. So maybe, just maybe, Vegas had it wrong. Maybe, just maybe, that this guy who, we know that Framber Valdez is a very good pitcher, but maybe, just maybe, he wasn't the best pitcher on the mound that day. They're going to get going again today because game 2 of big importance, because the Astros can't go down 2-0, losing both games at home. Again, another 1:30 first pitch on ABC today, taking on the Tigers. The Royals try to take a 2-0 lead over the Orioles. They got a road win yesterday as well. Look at this. The Mets got a road win yesterday over the Brewers. Yeah. San Diego, though, got the win yesterday over the Braves. We saw a home run yesterday by Fernando Tatis Jr., formerly the San Antonio Missions, going out there and getting a home run for the Padres. Padres swept or shut out the Braves with a 4-0.
Yeah.
Mets beat they doubled up the Brewers 8-4. They had a 5-run inning late in the game. That Royals game was 1-0 over the Orioles. Imagine being the Orioles, being 91-71 on the year, holding your opponent to 5 hits and 1 run and losing.
Yeah. I mean, there was some shutouts here too that we had, and that's just the nature of the thing, the beast, when you're looking at the scores at the end of the day, you got Padres against the Braves 4-0.
I stand corrected, by the way. It's do or die for the Astros.
Exactly. It's like you got to win. I think it's only 3 games.
Yeah, it's best of 3. It used to be best of 5, but then they expanded the number of teams. And so my bad.
You win today or you're going
win
home.
Or go home.
And you have the Orioles. That one was a really boring game, but I mean, it was pretty much just a defensive stance there. Orioles and Royals. Royals got the best of the Orioles 1-0. The Mets and Brewers, I hate the Mets, bro. They won 8-4. Is what it is on that end. But again, Detroit bested the Astros, man.
The Padres are an interesting team. They have all the talent in the world, but they're a bunch of cheaters, man. Fernando Tatis Jr. always gets busted for PEDs and says, I don't know what I took. And he's lying, right? But he goes out there. He's one of the best players out there, one of the best prospects out there. He does a very good job. But, man, they don't need to cheat. But the Padres have a ton of talent. So them dispatching the Braves kind of does make sense. I was cheering for the Brewers, though. I like the small market teams. I was cheering for a team that can advance like that because the Brewers have some very, very, very big fans over there. It's like rabid fans over there in Wisconsin. Orioles, Royals, I just like that both of those teams typically suck. I know the Royals won a World Series in the past decade, but they typically suck. The Orioles are that one team that just can't get over the hump. And they look like they were going to run away with it earlier this year, but they kind of fell back into the pack at 91-71. Still a very good season. Yeah. Again, Astros, Tigers, 1:30 first pitch from Minute Maid. Tickets as low as $26 if you're in the Houston area.
Hey, might as well go and see them now because once you advance to another round, ticket prices go up quite a bit.
They get jacked up.
Yeah,
they get jacked up. Tony Ornelas is hitting it right, baby, saying hit the like button. Alamo Sportscast Nation. Is that what we're calling ourselves?
Yeah. They're our Necios. Mike Taylor has his Thunderdome, but we have our Necios.
I like it.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Let's talk about the article that we saw from Jeff Garcia yesterday about Victor Wembanyama. Remember back in the day when he got drafted, the whole thing was you got to keep him light on his feet. You can't bulk him up because he's going to get hurt and all that stuff. And instead, what do we see? We see Victor Wembanyama add some girth to his body, to his frame.
He's a thick six.
He's a thickie. He's a thickie.
Oh, man.
And what are your thoughts on that? And by the way, here's some video from Ken's 5 yesterday, brought to you by Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. Shows Chris Paul mentoring some of the younger players. Harrison Barnes doing the same thing as well. And, practice is underway over at the Rocket La Cantera, but you see Wemby down low. He looks wider. He has a bigger frame, a more muscular frame.
Could take some hits now and push some people back a little bit.
He's still thin.
Yeah.
So, he's not over there too bulky.
Yeah, man.
But if you're adding, what did they say, 15, 20 pounds to his frame? I mean, that's something. And we heard those stories about how he was doing the boxing training with Jesse James Leha as well.
Yeah, over the summer.
Yeah. So
with Mamo,
look at him. Look at him. Just he looks more manly. 20 years old. No, what I'm saying is he was 7'4", but had a boyish charm to him in his rookie season. He's looking more and more mature, and I think it's because of that bulk. It's not too bulky, but you do see a difference. There's a night and day difference.
And look at this, man. Look at that video right there.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Paul is imparting knowledge. He's showing these guys, hey, you got to be here. You got to be here. This is why he wants them in position. He's trying to explain to them the game, and telling them you need to do certain things to get better out there on the court, And when he was talking with Wemby, he was doing the same thing. And that's great because that's why you want your veterans here, so they can impart this knowledge into the younger core to make them better.
We've been talking about who Pop's successor could be. We say Mitch Johnson, right? Because he's the young guy. Pop has a really big family tree of coaches. Who's to say Chris Paul III won't be that next guy?
If his heart's into coaching, who knows, man?
I mean, why wouldn't he want to be part of the Spurs organization after he retires? By the way, it's so funny seeing this video here because I see the referees in the stripes, and they're the same officials that I officiate with high school basketball. They're from my association.
Yeah.
But, for him to go out there and direct traffic is no different than what he did at Oklahoma City a few years ago with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, sharing that wealth with Stephon Castle, sharing that wealth with players like Blake Wesley and Trey Jones. I like seeing it out there. Keep in mind, people thought that when they signed Chris Paul that I was going to be mad. What did I tell you when it happened? I said, I'm all right with it, Joe. We have the tape. I said I was all right with it.
No. You said if the Spurs got CP3, that shows that the Spurs are punting the season away.
I never said that.
Yeah, you did.
Give me the tape.
I'm going to go back and get that tape.
Give me the tape.
You said they were punting. I specifically remember
because when it happened, maybe I did say it. But what did I say when it happened? I said, you know what? Now I think about it, I'm good. And I'm scrolling through all the different things that Jeff Garcia brought us yesterday on Locked On Spurs and Kens5.com.
Look at Vainstain said, yeah, he did. He's saying you did say.
But did I not say that I liked the pickup when it was all said and done?
You said that they were punting the season away.
For the reasons why I said it. The second they got him, I said, you know what? I kind of like it. It had to swirl around, had to percolate, baby. Coffee isn't made in a second. It had to percolate, and I thought to myself,
can we agree that was just not a good take? It was you were in the moment. It was the emotions.
Can we not agree with the fact that the second it happened, I said, you know what? Because of Stephon Castle, I like it.
Yeah,
that's what I said. I said I like it because of Stephon Castle.
But we can do this, Mike. We can have bad takes and just say I'm sorry.
No, the problem with bad takes is that the bad take didn't permeate.
Oh,
because if I changed my mind within 3 minutes, then it's really not a take. It was a snap judgment, is what that is. What does Mike Taylor call it back in the day on the Mike Taylor show? Knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah,
it was a knee-jerk reaction, but it wasn't a take, because a take is one that you stand on, and I didn't die on that hill. Mario Cavazza saying I said it.
Look
no
at
lies on that hill.
Head Necio says, Mike said it, so it is written.
so it is written.
Mike is changing his opinion. Can't go back.
I can change my opinion. But here's the photo, by the way, the before and after of Wemby coming in 210. If you want to show the pic here, Joe.
Sure.
Here's the pic right here. He was 210 pounds as a rookie. Now he's 235. How is he an inch shorter, by the way? He went from 7'4", according to the NBA website, down to 7'3". Gained muscle, lost an inch of height. Looks good.
I like Sean Quintero's comment. Even when he's right, he's wrong.
Dude, the second they signed him, I got excited about it, Joe. You
No,
know that.
you did not.
You know that. I
You
will find.
did
I will
not.
find
No.
that tape.
You
I
did
will
not.
find that tape.
You did not get excited.
And you know what's so funny? I'm on Locked On Spurs today with Jeff Garcia. We're talking about Devin Vassell's injury. We're talking about
You see, we got this thing
things like
popping
that.
up on the screen now. I don't know where this thing came from. Let me go ahead and get rid of it for now. But it's a preview of what's to come, because what we're going to do is we're going to have something called a stream boss. So if they pay money, and I'm going to put a picture of you on there, it's going to be funny. When you're given a bad take, they can take it off the screen.
Okay.
They can punch you.
Nice. Drew Show with the $5 super chat saying CPT is the type of guy that wants to be buried underneath the hardwood. Will be a coach. Also, Mike punted on his CP3 take that the Spurs were punting. I did. Part of the whole reason, Drew, was that not only was it CP3, it was getting Harrison Barnes. I'm like, okay, so we're taking Julian Champagny out of the lineup and pushing him way down the bench, and we're bringing in Harrison Barnes, who has played 82 games in back-to-back seasons, who has corporate knowledge, who plays a good game, who's a solid role player. It's like, okay, they're trying to win games now. But Devin Vassell going down with injury might prevent them from winning games. It's going to see what's going to happen with Stephon Castle. Do you think Pop is going to start Castle early on?
We got another $1.99. We got a super chat coming in from.
Oh, no. It's going to be easy for me to find this. You know why? I can find the exact day.
It's up there, dude.
I can find
YouTube.
find the exact day that CP3 was signed, and I can go in there and give the snapshot reaction the second it happened.
Okay, Nesios, it's up to you, because the videos are up. They're up there on the YouTube channel. We're going to have to do some investigating, man. And we're going to have to go back, and we're going to have to get the exact clip and the exact time stamp and everything where you said
so the signing,
they are punting away the season.
The signing of Chris Paul happened on July 7th. Okay, so that's the actual signing. But the announcement that he was being signed had to have been a couple of days before then. So it's the first week of July.
And if we got you on tape, video evidence of you saying this.
Oh, no, I know.
We're going to play it.
I very well may have said he punted, but then you can also give me the credit for saying that 2 days later, upon him being signed, and going, you know what? Now that I've had a chance to think about it, I have altered course, and now I am supportive of this. I have the right to change my mind. Dude, I'm not that politician who's wrong, and then it's like, you know what? I'm always right. Maybe I got it wrong. And I found that I got it wrong. And I'm not, what I don't want is Chris Paul to make this team so much a better team. And then it'd be December, January, and February. Everyone would be like, well, Jimenez was off the Chris Paul train from the get-go. No, I said it the second that they signed him, that, you know what? I thought about it, and I thought about the whole thing that he did with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and how he played alongside SGA, and that maybe Stephon Castle can get the same type of tutoring and mentoring. So I was okay with it. In fact, I support it. Don't give me that crap that I was like hating on him.
You
forever.
were hating. You said
I hated on him for like
they're punting the season away. I can't believe they got Chris
15
Paul.
minutes.
He's always injured.
I wanted Laurie Marketing, damn it.
No,
I
got caught in your feelings.
I got
man.
caught in
That's
my
what
feelings
that was.
for 15 minutes. Okay,
We're gonna have to.
15
If
minutes.
I get the video evidence, I'm gonna be pledged. This is your perfect opportunity to come in here and just cook, dude.
Oh, where's Matt Lerma right there with a classic Mike Jimenez backtrack? Okay, nice. I'm like
The back peddler.
I'm like the gif of Homer Simpson going back into the shrubs.
What would Pledger call you?
Flip flopper.
The flip flopper, yeah. So we have to have a chancla.
And it wasn't me that called it the flip flopper. I think somebody called me that on the air one time, and it kind of stuck. Kind of like how somebody called me acquired taste back in the day.
Look at this, man. If Mike is wrong, he needs to wear a Spurs jersey with no T-shirt in public.
You know what? I am working out, man. So, you know, I might be able to pull that off. Yeah, again, hot boy winter is what's coming ahead.
Jeez,
Sam Salinas, Mike backtracking so fast he's about to fall off that door, out the door at Joe's studio. off the chair and out the door. But okay, so give me your impressions, Joe. Okay, it's enough about me. It's about Wemby. Wemby being 25 pounds heavier. Does that give you cause of concern for too much weight on that frame?
It does not, man. I mean, the guy needs to bulk up a little bit. He needs to build up some muscle so he can get stronger. That way he's not going to get pushed around as much. I mean, we saw him in his rookie season. He had a very small frame. He's getting pushed around a lot. Couldn't really absorb the impact and continue to play, because of his lack of muscle, and I think he noticed that disparity in his rookie season. Putting on this, bulk here is going to help him get better as a player.
I see him making him tougher and harder to push around. I'm looking up David Robinson on basketballreference.com.
David was thin, but he had a great chiseled frame.
He had
dude.
a physique on him.
Yeah, those guns. Dude.
David Robinson was 7'1", 235. So you're looking at Wemby being the exact same weight as David Robinson back in David Robinson's prime. Wemby being 2 or 3 inches taller, depending on whether you consider him 7'3" or 7'4. But Robinson was able to do things that no other player could do, man. He was a gazelle out there at 7'1". The problem is that he had back issues.
Yeah, man, because back then, when the way that his style of play was, he would back his opponent into the paint with his back to the basket. And he would push, using his body, and he would push him back him down. A very physical style of play, and then proceed to try to do a spin move, turn around, do a hook shot, try to shoot over them or try to beat them with that one first quick, step that he had.
Yeah.
He was off to the races, dunk plus the foul,
we're talking about Robinson at 7'1", 235, Wemby at 7'3", 235. Zion Williamson is listed at 6'6", 284.
You know who David Robinson was? David Robinson was a player, a big man that was ahead of his time. He kind of ushered in the era of what a big man could be and the expectations of a big man out there on the court. He was Giannis before Giannis was a thing.
That's a very good point.
It was David Robinson.
Now, Giannis plays a forward position, doesn't play the center.
Yeah.
But David Robinson was the first big man with handles.
And
that
speed,
guy could run the
athleticism.
No one ran like David Robinson with that size ever before.
Man.
But now we see, you mentioned Giannis.
Yeah.
We see Wemby right now with handles. Whenever you try to figure out who Wemby is as a player,
he's him, man.
Well, he's a hybrid of certain players, man. He's part Kevin Durant. He's part David Robinson. He's part Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's part a lot of players, but the fact of the matter is that they're all great players. The question that I had, and people were ragging on me this past week on social media, and by the way, I was off of Twitter for a better part of last week, but I did see it later on, was when I questioned whether or not Wemby was going to be dominant. Again, the word dominant basically means that you're far and above everybody in the league. That doesn't mean that you can't be the best player in the league. Wemby can be the best player in the league. Doesn't mean that he's going to be dominant. I want him to be dominant. Okay. I'm just saying that it's only a handful of players that have had that. And, it's been a while since we had a dominant player in the NBA. Any good comments coming on in?
Yeah. I mean, JHNSB is saying Wemby has no KD in him. Relax.
No, the KD that he has in him is the ability to have a 3-point shot that's unblockable. Going straight up.
He can
has
already
very
have
good form.
Now, as far as a mid-range jumper, there is nobody out there on the court that can stop this brother. If he just finally just made up his mind and said, you know what, come at me, triple team me, do whatever, just shoot the ball. There is no way they're going to stop you. Pick your hands up in the air, hold the ball high over your head. They ain't going to get you, man.
It's an unblockable shot. When Kevin Durant was in the NBA, I'm looking at his stats right here. As a rookie, he played 80 games. Do you know what Kevin Durant's 3-point shooting was at that time?
What is it?
28.8%. Less than what Wemby did his first year. Now, a lot of people are going to come at me and go, okay, well, you say that you can't improve a shot because you say that about Sohan.
You say his shot is broken.
It's a broken shot. You look at Wemby shoot, is not a broken shot, though the form is there. It's like 95% done.
You know what Wemby needs to do actually with his 3-point shot? He needs to shoot further away from the 3-point line because he's just so long.
Yeah.
That I think that's what actually clangs the ball.
The trajectory is a little bit off.
Yeah, when he's a little bit further away from the 3-point line, he's going to be money, dude.
The arc is a little bit more smooth or more directional. So you look at Kevin Durant. I see Kevin Durant in him. You got the body, you got the unblockable 3-point shot, you got the way the form looks just like Kevin Durant. It's going to go in. It's not a broken shot at all.
And look at this, Tavares brings up a good point. Can you be the best player in the NBA and not make the playoffs? Antonio Daniels brought that up on a Sirius XM and Sirius XM radio. He was referring to Wemby. You know what? I need to reach out to Antonio Daniels, man. I met him years ago at my church here. Him and his wife, great people, and I've kind of communicated with him, kept in contact with them. I need to get him on the show.
Yeah. We would love to. By the way, we're going to have Mike Mitchell's son. Remember former Spurs?
Oh, yeah.
Star Mike Mitchell from the 80s.
Yeah, we're going to bring the son on.
We're going to bring the son on. He's going to talk to us about what it's like to grow up as a family member of a silver and black player. Amazing.
Yeah.
But going back to Wemby, and the question that Antonio Daniels had was, can you be the best player in the league and not make the playoffs? The answer is no. The answer is no. You can be that in football. I mean, football, you have so many different players. We see Joe Burrow. Yeah. Joe Burrow's a top 4 or 5 quarterback in the NFL easily.
Playing on a bad team
with a bad defense. In the NBA, you only have 5 players out there. You know, we saw what getting David Robinson did to the Spurs back in 1989.
How many wins did they have the previous season before David joined?
21 to 56.
That's a big jump.
We saw it happen. He got drafted in 87, didn't play till 89 because of his 2-year Navy commitment.
You know, that was the biggest turnaround for any team in NBA history.
35 games.
That was a huge turnaround. And the Spurs actually, I believe, made the playoffs that year.
Oh, yeah. They did make the playoffs. Yeah. We saw the change happen when Duncan came to the Spurs after Robinson got hurt in 97.
Yeah, Robinson and Sean, but they could have brought Sean back at any time.
They could have. They tanked.
Yeah.
Spurs are used to tanking. Come on. But, you know, if Devin Vassell is not going to play for a while, because, again, he says he's going to be reevaluated. Essentially, what Devin Vassell happened, he had a foot injury, had surgery. It was an injury sustained during the season. He says, quote unquote, it did not heal properly. Therefore, he had surgery again, and he'll be reevaluated in November 1st. Season starts October 24th.
Oh, look at Mario Cavazos brought up something here. Rudy Campos from Sweep the League. The boys over there, they had Mario on the show the other day. And I told them, hey, man, good get for you guys. Great, man.
That's a very good get.
Yeah, that was a great get for them. Hopefully, they're going to have more guests because I know Derek Gervin, should I say, the younger brother of George Gervin, he does the show with Rudy, so they're probably lining up more guests. So good for them, man.
That's amazing.
Go ahead and give them some love. Go ahead and subscribe to them as well. There's room for everybody here to grow, you know?
Tavarius is asking whether or not Stephon Castle, the number 4 overall pick, is Devin Vassell's future replacement. I hope not. I hope that Stephon Castle is Trey Jones's replacement. That's what I want to see. I want to see a lineup out there of Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Victor Wembanyama, Jeremy Sohan, and a star stud 3 guy like a Lauri Markkanen or a Cooper Flagg type of player.
Hey, man, Cooper Flagg is legit, man. But you know what I'd like? I like any starting 5 that does not have Zach Collins in there.
I want a starting 5 that does not have Zach Collins or Julian Champagnie. And Trey Jones is limited as a point guard.
What do you have against Champagnie,
He
bro?
just runs out there doing cardio.
Oh, no, man.
There was a game that we saw where he had played 26 minutes. He had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 shot attempts, 0 free throw attempts. And I was thinking to myself, dude, he and I have the exact same stats.
But you're not going to go out there and wear a jersey with no shirt, though.
Oh, no. But you know what? But neither does some of the players have those shirts, those compression shirts.
Yeah, you probably wear that.
Garrett is in from the Netherlands. Welcome back, my man. Glad to hear that you're feeling a little bit better, man. I got your message on Twitter. I'm glad to see that. I know not everything out of the woods yet, but things look a little bit better than they did before. Thank you for listening to the show, man. We appreciate it.
And look at that, Tony Ornelas, man. He's already telling everybody what
Hit
to
the
do.
like
man.
button.
Hit that like button. Here again. Hit that like button, man.
I'd say hit it twice, but I think it would take it off, right? So just hit it once.
Don't tell him to hit it twice, Mike.
July 26th, saying injury-prone Charles Bassey. Dude, I forgot about that name, Charles Bassey.
You forgot about Charles Bassey. Come on.
Is he on the team? Spurs got to narrow down this roster at some point. Again, the NBA season gets going 3 weeks from tomorrow for the Spurs, October 24th. Preseason games, I believe they get going next week.
Yeah, man. A lot of the preseason games, I think now, since the fans have complained so much and the Spurs kind of realize that stupid app that they have when they're trying to show the app or show the game inside that ugly app, didn't work out too well. So finally, I think the games are going to be televised on like the CW.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So that people can watch it.
It's easy to see. That way you don't have to have cable to watch the game. It's preseason, man.
First preseason game for the Spurs is Monday against the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll have something to talk about on Tuesday. That's amazing. Other than Monday Night Football, which involves my New Orleans Saints taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And speaking of the Saints, Davante Adams has said that he wants two teams to play for. So let's backtrack here. Saints being one of them, by the way. Davante Adams is legitimately a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. But the fact of the matter is that people don't realize that because he plays for the Las Vegas Raiders. Back in the day when he played for the Green Bay Packers and he played with Aaron Rodgers, he was a stud. Same level as Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb. But he goes off into the desert, plays in Sin City, and he just falls off the face of the earth and no one pays attention. Because who pays attention to a team that's going to go 6-11?
Nobody,
right?
Even though they do have a bigger media market.
Like Keith Sweat. Who's paying attention over there? Nobody. Okay. Davante Adams missed a game, and people were kind of puzzled as to why he missed that game. Maybe the injury was just not that bad, but he missed a game. And he posts on social media some things where, you know, it seems like he's okay, but for some reason he's not playing.
Yeah.
The Raiders made the announcement yesterday that he's up for grabs. Trade bait, baby. Trade bait.
Yeah.
Come get your guy. He's available. What it's going to cost you is a second-round draft pick for Davante Adams. A second-round draft pick, not a first, a second-rounder, plus some salary cap filler, right? Some spare pieces, right? Jesse Martinez saying, stop singing. Nobody but me.
Hey, pay Mike $1 to stop singing, man.
So here's the thing. Who are the 5 teams, according to Get Up on ESPN today? There's only 5 teams that can go get him based on the salary cap right now. The Washington Commanders, who have the most salary cap space. The Dallas Cowboys, who still have salary cap space. Wait a minute, Joe. The Cowboys have the 3rd most salary cap space, and they couldn't get Derrick Henry?
No, Jerry didn't want Derrick Henry. There's a difference.
They had the cap space, and they didn't go get him.
No, he wanted Zeke.
It wasn't that we couldn't afford him.
No, he wanted
They
Zeke.
couldn't afford him.
How much did they pay for Zeke? 12, right? 12 mil?
They couldn't get him.
They couldn't pay a little bit more and get Derrick Henry. It was a disparity. 4 mil? He could have gotten Derrick Henry for 16 mil? Come on, Jerry.
If that. The Jets can go get him. Again, Aaron Rodgers was the star quarterback that he played with. The Steelers, and starting in November, based on how the salary cap works and whatnot, first week of November, technically, the Ravens could go get him at that point. But according to ESPN is saying that reportedly Davante Adams has chosen 2 teams that he wants to go to.
They're right there in the picture. I have them right there.
He's narrowed them down to the New York Jets and the New Orleans Saints.
New England Saints.
I saw. I was like, which new are we going to go with?
Man, you don't even know.
I was looking at Aaron Rodgers, and I was looking at the graphic because I had not seen this graphic before. So, forgive me. But the New York Jets make sense because they have the cap space, and he has the familiarity with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. That's first and foremost. Why would he want to go and play with the New Orleans Saints? Well, first of all, the Crescent City is wonderful, right? But Davante Adams, who's his best friend? Derek Carr. Derek Carr is his best friend because they played with each other and they were roommates with each other at Fresno State when they went to college. So I find this very, very interesting, especially as a New Orleans Saints fan.
Yeah. But the Cowboys could be on that list too.
They could. I mean, imagine a CD Lamb on one side and Davante Adams on the other.
You know what I heard?
But you know what? What it doesn't solve? Ain't no run game.
No, man. But you know what I heard too? Cowboys are actively looking for another wide receiver, right? They're looking to maybe do a trade.
Yeah, they're going to be looking at their...
No. Guess who they're looking at right now?
Who's that?
Amari Cooper.
They didn't want to pay him back in the day.
That is the rumor. They want to bring Amari back. Maybe making a deal with the Brownies.
You know, a team that needs to make a pitch for a wide receiver is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, because we saw what happened when Patrick Mahomes injured for the season his number one receiver.
What a dumbass, dude. Why are you even trying to tackle?
Mm-hmm.
You're a quarterback. You don't do stuff like that, man.
Yeah, so MSN, I'm reading right now that story about how it is possible for the Cowboys to go after Amari Cooper.
Numbers could work. The numbers could work.
Again, it says there would be about a $1 million cap hit if it happens.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, it does improve the team, but it's one of those things where there's no running game.
There's no running game. And the thing is, too, I believe the Cowboys just went ahead and got another guy. I saw that earlier this morning off of the practice squad from another team that they're going to add to their current roster because of injuries and whatnot.
The Davante Adams thing, the one thing I didn't touch on was the fact that ESPN and social media was reporting that Davante Adams could have played his last game with the Raiders. And people noticed that someone liked the article online.
Yeah.
And it happened to be his head coach.
He's basically saying, bye.
Yeah, don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out.
Bye. I mean, what's wrong with the player going into the front office and saying, I want to trade? Trade me.
Well, right, but it didn't seem like he was doing that. He didn't say anything bad on social media.
No.
He didn't say anything bad to reporters.
Yeah, coach got hurt, got his feelings hurt, but what's wrong with saying I want to be traded?
Well, I mean, they have no quarterback play over there.
Yeah, I mean, he's on a team that's going nowhere.
Being a stud wide receiver on a team that does not have a good quarterback just has got to be infuriating.
Maybe he'll stay if they draft Ewers.
I mean, they could, but the fact of the matter is that he wants out. Apparently now he wants out, and he wants to go to the Saints.
He wants to play for a better team, man.
Dude, if the Saints had Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, Jamal Williams, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and Davante Adams, I don't care if Derek Carr is a quarterback. He's got all the toys in the world to play with.
Yeah.
And that offensive line, if they're healthy.
And look, man,
Don't
we
get
have
me excited.
Incoming super chat by the Drew Show. Thank you, Drew, for the super chat. We appreciate you, man. Got to make it rain with that $5 right here, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's saying that he wants that it would be epic for us to get Alvin Robertson on. Alvin Robertson has had a very troubled life after being an NBA star, issues with the law and stuff like that. I mean, he was one of my favorite players growing up.
Yeah, but you know what? He probably want to be paid to come on the show.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's the thing that people don't understand sometimes. When you reach out to certain athletes and you want to get them on your show and stuff, they don't always come on for free.
True, but Alvin Robertson, arrested for sex trafficking, arrested for domestic violence multiple times. I'd rather not.
Yeah, man.
Violating protective orders and things like that. I'd rather not. He's an all-time legend of the Spurs. The Spurs probably should have retired his jersey a long, long time ago, but then again,
you know who I've been wanting to get on this show for quite some time? I wanted to get Antonio Daniels on.
Yeah.
And I've also been wanting to get the great Sean Elliott.
Sean Elliott, back before he left, I would have loved to have had Matt Bonner.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Why can't he still come on?
Yeah. We'll be more aggressive as the season starts. We got to go get some press passes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know Matt Bonner's going to be. Oh, the deadline's already passed, bro, for the press passes for the Spurs.
Mm.
I'm like, dude. I mean, this is the thing.
I'm indifferent.
This is the thing, though. If you get press passes to cover the Spurs, and we could have probably gotten easy, press passes. No, not discounting that. We're going to be out in the corner there, that little crappy media area.
Yeah, but we'd be hanging out with Jeff.
They'd just be sitting there, though. I'd rather be with the people drinking beer, having fun. Why can't I just go and rent a suite and then charge people like Arnesios here? Everybody will rent a suite out. We'll get 10, 15 people in there, and everybody's paying like $200, right, for their ticket. But that includes food. That includes all the drink you can drink, and you get that VIP parking, and you're in a suite, dude.
Yep, agreed.
I mean, you're going to spend more than $200 on a game for crappy seats.
Agree. Let's talk a little bit more about the Spurs on the other side. Let's give some love to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5.
Here we go. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow, not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Again, Jeff G Spurs Zone. I subscribe on Spotify. I subscribe on YouTube as well, but there's other places you can check them out. Kens5.com as well. So Jeff Garcia doing a lot of work out there talking about the Spurs. Joe's on the phone. Didn't even realize.
I'm good, man. I could talk.
I'm sorry, man. I was just talking. Didn't look over, and I was like, oh, goodness.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring our guest on right now, so I'm working on some things here.
We have a guest.
Yeah, we got our guest.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go over some of the things that we were talking about earlier. Tony Onala is saying Devontae Adams is stupid for picking the Jets and Saints. Rodgers is old and Kamara gets injured. Do you keep saying that, man? Lay off Alvin Kamara. Don't put that in the universe. Others are saying that Derek Carr is a bad quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. He's just average. He's just an eye quarterback.
He's all right. That's about it. That's about all you could say about him. He's all right.
Yeah, Mexican Jr. says if Jerry was all in, they would trade for Devontae Adams and Hassan Riddick.
Oh, God.
Hassan Riddick is a great defensive player.
All right, man. So we're ready for the one and only guest that we got coming on right here. It is Wednesday, so you know what that means.
Oh,
right. It's going to be the one and only Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs.
Locked On Spurs,
Welcome
baby.
to the show, Jeff. And Jeff, I've been excited to try to get you on for today because I want to get your take, give us what you can about Spurs Media Day and what's happening. I mean, you're right there with the team. You're getting the videos and all that. You're putting them all up on social media. Let us know what's going on.
Man, it was a pretty good day. It was a good day. Media Day. It was a lot faster than it was during Wemby's rookie season. But nevertheless, there was a positive vibes. How's that? You all saw the videos. You saw the videos by now, everybody. You, Mike.
Yeah.
Everybody listening right now. There was a comment thread. What was it? Wins, playoffs. That was pretty much everybody was talking about wins and playoffs. I think it's a bit lofty. Playoffs? I mean, you know how much of a big jump they're going to have to make? 22-win season to what? At minimum of 42, and I'm being generous, just to get the play-in. So they have lofty goals. I spoke with Sohan, and I said, hey, Jeremy, maybe, there's a little slight buzz about the Spurs, a little bit. There's a little bit of positive vibes going the Spurs way. Does that put any pressure on the team? And he says no. And you know what, guys? I don't know. What do you think? This team has nothing to lose, right? They're not supposed to make the playoffs,
right?
So why not just go all out? See if they can get into the postseason. I don't think they will. I think the play-in is a little bit more reachable, but man, can they make what is that, like a 22 or more win season jump from last year? That's huge.
Well, they have the talent now to make a run at something. They didn't have the talent before. You had a Harrison Barnes to it. You had a Stephon Castle and a CP3. The talent is a lot better than it has been before. And I'm looking right now at BetMGM right now, Jeff.
Yeah.
They have the over-under set at 35.5 wins, which would be
it came down one.
Which would be an improvement from last year still.
Mm-hmm.
The maybe going down one could be because of Devin Vassell's injury.
Yeah.
But when it comes to making the playoffs, the odds are almost 4-1. It's plus 375 if you want to bet on them making the playoffs. If you want to bet on the Spurs winning the division, can I interest you in a 33-1 odds? You bet $100. Who's in the division again? The Rockets, the Mavericks,
Timberwolves,
and the T-Wolves. If you think the Spurs are going to finish first out of those, not first in the conference, just in their little division, 33-1 odds.
You bet $100. What you walking away with? What you walking away with on $100 bet? $3,000?
$300 plus your $100 back.
That'll work, but that ain't gonna happen. We Dallas, Houston, New Orleans, just in the division itself. So it likely won't happen. But outside of that, I asked Chris Paul during the conference call or the chat. Hey, you saw from the outside in. What do you think one thing this Spurs needs? And he joked with me at first. He said, like, well, that's Pop's business, not mine. But, he did give an answer. He did say that he thinks his team needs calmness. That's what he told me. He said calmness. He tells me that he was well aware of the Spurs, that he was watching them, that he was watching film on them, obviously, playing against them. But he said that he noticed the Spurs struggles in tight games. He feels he can bring a calmness to the court. So other than that, it was pretty cool. I got a chance to talk to Blake Wesley exclusively one-on-one. It's up on Locked On Spurs right now. I asked him, hey, you're aware that there's a logjam right now at the point guard spot. I mentioned some names, Trey Jones, CP3, Castle. Look, he obviously he's going to give the right answer, but he just said all he could do at this point is just play his game. But he did say he did focus more on defense. He did tell me that he added more weight to his frame. He even joked that he remembers when he had hair coming into the NBA before he chopped it off. But if you want to check out that interview, it's up right now, Locked On Spurs on YouTube. It's pretty good. It's just a segment. And, the Spurs not going to let me sit with him for 30-something minutes, but at least you'll get a good 4 to 6 minutes chat with Wesley. And he even talks about he brought up about his bold prediction for the Spurs. So it's there right now. Go check it out.
Talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. On Locked On today, Jeff, you asked me the question, how many games played would Devin Vassell need to play in order for you to be happy for this season? I'm going to reverse this on you. I'm going to ask you the exact same question, but with the name Chris Paul III.
Wait, say that again? I'm sorry, I got lost.
Same question for you that you asked me about Devin Vassell. Chris Paul. Okay, gotcha. Because the last few seasons, here's what Chris Paul has played because of various injuries. 58 games last year, 59 the year before, 65, 70, 70, 58, 58, 61. He tends to miss about 20 games per year. What's the number of games that you want to see from Chris Paul this year?
Well, we're going to just say he's going to stay with the Spurs until season's end and not get dealt or waived or whatever. Then I would be happy with 65.
65?
65. Yeah, 65. Because, Pop's going to low manage him. He's going to get hurt. It's going to happen. He's not a spring chicken anymore. So 65, I think I'll be comfortable with.
Okay. Hey, we do have an incoming super chat here. Drew donated $2 and he was asking did the Spurs even provide donuts at the media day? Did they give you all anything to eat, Jeff, as you all were covering the Spurs? No tacos, nothing?
Nope, nothing, zero.
No, you had to bring in your own tacos.
I think there were some beverages like water and Gatorade you could grab. But in the media room at the Spurs new practice facility, there's a little refrigerator for media, and in there, Diet Cokes and everything. But better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
But
we do have a question too. Dark Aeons, he's watching us from YouTube, and he's saying, "Where will the games be broadcasted?" And I believe he's talking about the preseason. And as we were just saying, the preseason games, because the Spurs heard the complaints from the fan base. These games are going to be broadcast. I believe the majority of them are going to be on the CW, if I stand corrected.
Yeah, and Ken's 5 too.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's where you can watch the games, Ken's 5 and the CW.
Yep. Joe, what's the latest with that whole airing of the games with Amazon and TNT? What happened with all that?
So we have a new, let's say, media giant entering the fray now.
Yeah.
So now you have DirecTV has bought out Dish Network. So after looking at the research and all that, there's a company that AT&T sold 30% of the business to. I think it's like TP&G or something like that, TPG, and they own 30% of DirecTV. AT&T still owns 70% of that brand there, DirecTV. So now that DirecTV has purchased Dish Network, that also comes with Sling TV. So altogether, they're acquiring somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 million new subscribers there with this merger, along with the network that AT&T has already built with DirecTV. So that's going to make them one of the, if not the biggest, streaming media platform in the nation right now. So
but none of this is supposed to really take over until next season, right? Like that's when you start seeing it, right?
Exactly. So what's going to wind up happening is that now that you're seeing this media giant, you see what's happening with Amazon, you see what's going on with the other streaming services. All that means is that that's going to cost the consumer, which is us, more money to see our teams. And what's happening with Bally Sports is they coined a deal with Amazon. So next year, I believe Amazon will be able to showcase these games that are now currently on the Bally's app and whatnot. The Bally's app is pure garbage, man. Trash, dude, it's trash. But you're going to be able to see your favorite regional teams, kind of like the Spurs, and watch other basketball and Major League Baseball games in your specific area. If you already subscribe to Amazon, of course, it's going to come at a premium because they're probably going to charge you what Bally's is charging you right now, which is $20 more a month. But at least if you're an Amazon subscriber, you're going to be able to still watch these other games, as you have already subscribed to Amazon Prime Video. So at the bottom line, at the end of the day, all this means is that all these deals that are being inked, people thought cutting the cord was going to be cheaper. I think, in fact, in the next 2 to 3 years, that is going to have the opposite effect. The consumer is going to wind up paying more to watch their favorite teams play on these streaming platforms. It's going to become more expensive at some point than cable TV was because not the media deals, but these TV deals are becoming more and more lucrative. So these networks that are purchasing the rights to air these games are passing that off to the consumer. So expect to pay more to see your favorite teams play in the near future.
Man, Jimenez, can you imagine those player contracts at that point?
Oh, I know. Jeez.
Yeah. It'd be huge. But I mean, like the season's right around the corner. Training camp's underway. The Spurs released video of CP3 being the floor general, something the Spurs desperately needed. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad we brought that up because Sohan actually told me that he needed to see more veteran presence on the court with the team.
Yep.
So there's that.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. We saw that video earlier of CP3 directing traffic, talking to the various players about where they need to position themselves, and he looks like he's a player coach out there. Could you see CP3 becoming a Pop disciple? No different than the other coaches that he has on the coaching tree. Can you see CP3 being a head coach and maybe latching on to the Spurs organization as an assistant down the way?
Does he have the right temperament to be a coach? Because you ask his former teammates, even like DeAndre Jordan recently said on a podcast that being a teammate of Chris Paul can test you. So do you think he would have enough patience for that? I don't know if he has patience to coach a young team or, be that way because this guy's a perfectionist and oof.
Well, we see a lot.
Unless Pop teaches him how to rein it in, but young Pop was just as fiery as Chris Paul is.
Well, we see a lot of point guards who become head coaches in the NBA. I mean, Jason Kidd, Steve Kerr was. Steve Kerr was a combo. Tyronn Lue, Chauncey Billups. I mean, there's a lot of players out there. Steve Nash, JJ Redick now, who's a shooting guard back in the day. You see a lot of guards get into the coaching profession, and Chris Paul. I mean, he has made a ton of money. He has that State Farm money on top of everything else. But I just watching him on the court, it seems like it's second nature to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was funny. He always says in every interview since becoming a Spur, I'm not here to coach. I'm not here to coach. But he's kind of coaching, though.
Yeah.
He's still coaching. But then it's a double-edged story. You coach. You say you don't want to coach. You're here to play. But if you want to win, you got to coach these kids to get on the same page. So it just comes with the territory for Chris Paul. And by the way, did you notice that Keldon wasn't Keldon? Like he looked kind of down or something during the press conference. Is that just me?
He was mean mugging a little bit.
Yeah, he's probably mad because they probably told him to behave himself because he's probably irritated that he had to give up his number 3.
Yeah, he only smiled a lot when he was taking the photos.
Yeah,
and
he looked irritated, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
because remember we got him on video saying that he was keeping number 3, no doubt, very firm, very positive.
Nah, Coach Pop said otherwise, man.
You think they took it from him? They told him, "Hey, give it up right now."
Coach Pop pulled a soprano and told him, "Look, man, this is what's going to happen. You getting the number 0. CP3 is taking number 3. Here's some cash considerations.
Yeah,
get out of my face."
Yeah,
I'm looking at New York. I'm looking at the New York Times and the Athletic with a headline today that says, "Why Spurs Chris Paul and Greg Popovich are a perfect match in San Antonio," and it shows them hugging back in the day.
Yeah,
we shall see.
You know what? I do have a question for you here. We got an incoming question from one of the fans here, Sam Salinas, one of our best fans. He's at the leader of the pack right now when it comes to watch hours. He's asking you, Jeff.
Oh, me? Okay.
He says, have the Spurs made any announcement on Bill Land's replacement?
No, and your fan there, he's like the 4th or 5th person to ask me the question. I think Weiss has the inside track.
Yeah.
It's got to be. It's just logical. There's others out there that I can't mention right now, but I think Weiss has it. I think it's his to lose.
Yeah,
it has to be, right? It has to be.
He's probably been there for quite some time, so yeah, it's only natural that they would give him the nod.
I can say this, but I'm not going to give too much away. That the Spurs did reach out to a national TV voice and did not follow up with that person. So I'll leave it at that.
No.
So, yeah.
And we have another question for you, Jeff. Midtown Texas here, another one of our most avid listeners here. He's asking, Jeff, why does Mike lie? Because he was backpedaling again. You missed the flip-flopper in action.
Dude. Okay.
He said, Jeff, he said, and we have it on tape. I'm going to get the clip. He said the Spurs get Chris Paul. They are punting the season away. And now he's backpedaling on that.
So first of all,
don't let him off the hook,
Jeff. Let me backtrack here. A little bit. Okay, it's not a back pedal; it's a backtrack.
No,
Jeff.
It's still a back pedal.
Jeff, here's what happened. What happened was, I said that.
Man.
I more than likely said that. I probably did say that. If everyone says that I said that, fine, I did, right? But I said 24 hours later that I was actually happy that the Spurs were getting Chris Paul because I had to think about it a little bit.
That's backtracking. That's punting. That's punting.
Well, no, that's having it percolate. To me, having a take and back Lord. And flip-flopping is flip-flopping, months later down the road. Like suddenly I changed my mind in January when the Spurs are 15-12. I'm changing my mind by then. I changed my mind within a business day. Okay. So that is not flip-flopping. That's just me going, I thought about it, changed my mind.
Joe, remember this. So whenever you need to fix your takes, you could just use the Michael Jimenez way.
Yeah.
Just say, no, it's within a 24-hour period. I'm not backpedaling, I'm backtracking. So, Joe, put that in your pocket, man.
I know. It's what I said. I'm going to get the tape. I'm going to get the clip, right? And after I get the clip, I'm going to go ahead and tell Pledger, you're going to have to come in here and you have to cook your boy, man, because we got it on tape. And then Mike's not going to even say he's sorry. He's going to be like, he's going to double down on that horror tape.
Mike's been doing this since his former ESPN SA days. So what's new?
I love it when Pledge comes and cooks Mike and he calls him, you moron. And then he gets all animated.
He got all mad.
Today on today's Lockdown Sports, which is with Jimenez, Jimenez asked me, like, man, Jeff, you're always saying stuff that's not true about me. And I go, but it brings you views to your show, right? And he goes, well, yes, but
No, I said, does it?
Is Jeff hurting your feelings?
They said like, does it? Like,
Hey,
does it? Like,
there's some cracks in
does
the
it?
dam, Jeff. I think you're hurting Mike's feelings.
I'm in my feels right now.
You know,
Talking to
Why
Jeff
are you in your
Garcia.
feels, dude? That's not like you.
I'm
You're an '80s baby.
Well,
You have thick skin.
I'm gonna get in my feels in a minute because we're gonna talk pop culture and some passings. Have we given love yet to MCS?
No, we haven't yet, but we do have a $5 super chat that I gotta say here.
Yeah, Drew Show says, as the CW Ken's 5, as a resident of Montgomery County, Texas, that he has to pay hundreds of dollars a year for sports streaming, mostly for the Spurs. Feels like he's screwed again because CW35 is a local thing.
Local channel, yeah, man.
Well, Joe, you know the other quote unquote ways.
Oh yeah,
so, to watch. Joe,
look at Mario Cavazos came in with the win. Crack streamers necios or Stream East necios. That's what you all should be putting in there, man. If you know who else uses Stream East? LeBron James. They've already caught him on tape.
Yeah, they caught him already.
Man, they caught him. So let's go ahead and give some love to MCS General Contracting. We already gave you some love, Jeff, and we plugged Locked On Spurs. So you know what? Good. Before we go to MCS General Contracting, again, you want to go ahead and listen to one of the best Spurs podcast around. Been going on for quite some time. Make sure you subscribe to Locked On Spurs for your daily Spurs content, as Jeff is back to 5 days a week. So if you want to know anything about the San Antonio Spurs, Jeff's your guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's give some love.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
That Diamond Hard Concrete. Thank you so much to Chris Leha and all the fellas out there. Again, I'm a client. They did a fantastic job. Talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. But we have MCS's phone number up there, 774-9155. Again, you need a patio, swimming pool, pickleball court, slab.
Yeah, you get that Diamond Hard Concrete in your life.
Mm-hmm. I have it in my house. I have it in my house. Talking to Jeff Garcia, we do pop culture and nostalgia and things like that. All these celebrity deaths that have happened over the past week or so, the announcements of Pete Rose, the announcement of James Earl Jones a couple of weeks ago, Chris Christopherson. Who else has passed away in the past couple of weeks?
Maggie Smith, the actress, she passed away.
There was another athlete that also passed away. Who was that? Joe.
Oh, the Dame.
Well, no, an athlete. It was before Pete Rose.
Oh, athlete. Oh,
I can remember.
Yeah,
it was Pete Rose and then somebody else. I don't remember who it was.
Oh, it was Dikembe Mutombo.
Dikembe
Mutombo.
Yeah.
So you hear all that, and then we find out yesterday the death of John Amos. And John Amos, everyone knows who John Amos is, man. I mean, he is known for being the adult Kunta Kinte in Roots back in the day. I knew him best as Cleo McDowell from Coming to America. Coming to America, one of my favorite movies of all time. If you were to say, Michael, what is your Mount Rushmore of movies, especially if it's the Mount Rushmore of comedies, it'll be Coming to America. That movie came out, 35 years ago, and it's so funny still to this day. My daughter, Gabby, is 21 years old, loves that movie. One of my favorite lines from Cleo McDowell, because here's the thing. Remember, not only did he die, but James Earl Jones died. They were both in the movie. They died 2 weeks apart from each other. The announcement yesterday that from his publicist that John Amos died was 5 weeks after he actually died. He died in August. It just wasn't announced until yesterday. So you see that two of the stars from Coming to America passed away 2 weeks apart from each other. Both of them legends in their own right. John Amos was also in Good Times. My favorite line of all times from John Amos. I don't give a damn who you are. This is America, Jack. Now you say one more word about Lisa here, and I'm gonna break my foot off in your royal ass. One of the greatest lines. Dottie, go get him. That's another line I like when he goes after Eric LaSalle's character.
My favorite is still Coming to America.
Yeah.
But when Eddie Murphy walked into his office and he blatantly has the McDonald's handbook in his hand,
He does.
and he tucks it away and he puts it back in the drawer. He's like, "Oh, how can I help you, son?"
He goes, what does he say? He goes, see, they're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's. They got the golden arches.
They're McDowell's, yeah.
We got the golden arcs. They got the Big Mac. We got the Big Mick. How they have their buns have sesame seeds. Ours, we don't have sesame seeds.
Blatantly
my favorite is when Eddie Murphy walks on by and he's like, I think it's the same scene where he's pretending to be mopping. And he goes, talking about, did you watch the football game last night and how they were most triumphant by kicking a pigskin, through a big H? And he goes, you want to keep working here, son? Got to lay off the drugs.
Yeah. We got more super chats incoming here. $5 again from the Jew Show. He's saying that they should pay Beetle to replace Land. He goes, Beat, Sirius, and FanDuel shows stink. Bring Beetle back. And I agree. Beetle was great when she was with the Spurs broadcasting.
She does an amazing job.
She should do that again.
I'm a big fan of Michelle Beetle.
Yeah, it would be great to have her here. And then $4.99. We got a $4.99 super chat coming in from Midtown, Texas. Mike, I had to think about it.
Jimenez. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
As a nerd, though, I remember Amos in his role in The Beastmaster.
Really?
People forget that he was in The Beastmaster in the 1982 movie. And he played like the sidekick to the protagonist there. He had like a staff and he had like a ponytail. So he was in that movie as well. And then I think he did a bunch of other stuff too. I think he was on the A-Team back in the 80s series. Like he had a guest spot.
Yeah.
On the A-Team. I think he was also in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as well.
Oh, he was the dad, I believe.
Yeah. Do you know what other team?
Oh, no, he wasn't. It was somebody else.
What other team he was on briefly? Yeah. The Denver Broncos.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He was a free agent contract signing of the Denver Broncos back in 1964. Passed away of natural causes at the age of 84.
Dang.
On August 21st. I mean, we got to talk about good times because I know that you have, Jimmy Walker, Dynamite and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There was some great programming back in the day. What was the one with Rerun? That was that?
Yes. Oh my God. Just keep on talking. It'll come to me.
Dude, that was also a good show as well. What's Happening?
What's Happening? Thank you. Yes.
Those are shows that I did watch growing up, by the way. Both of those.
Was Sanford and Son still in that same vein, that timeline, Sanford and Son?
And then you had the Jeffersons. There was a lot of great African-American comedies back then.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them, were just well written. They were funny. A lot of them were thought-provoking. Dude, when John Amos's character died on Good Times.
Oh, yeah, that was rough.
That was rough. That was one of the first times you saw a character that was beloved pass away. And I wasn't it Florida? Was that his wife's name? I just remember her going, damn, just saying damn repeatedly.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
On Netflix, they actually made the Good Times animated show, and it's modern, like 2024.
Oh,
There's
really?
actually a Good Times animation show. Yeah. Same vibe, same everything.
John Amos was also a military veteran as well, serving in the Coast Guard and also the National Guard as well. So John Amos passed away at the age of 84. Let's just no more celebrity deaths, man. But one more to talk about. Frank Fritz, we mentioned yesterday, passed away. He was of the
American
TV show American Pickers. Apparently, History Channel is going to honor him by running an entire marathon of all the episodes of American Pickers.
Wow.
The marathon started at 7 a.m. and is continuing throughout the day today.
Man.
And they're going to add a memoriam, in memoriam image every hour to remember Frank Fritz. He passed away at the age of 60. One of the things that we didn't know was the fact that he had a stroke a couple of years ago. We didn't know until last night that his partner on American Pickers, how was his name?
Mike Wolf.
was at his side when he passed away
Yeah.
in the hospital.
Along with
get
the
out.
family.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, man, it was rough. Hey, we had another 99 super chat I got to get to here from Jason Garcia, joining us from Portland, Oregon. He says, we need a good mic roast. He says, Bigfoot approves.
You know what? You know what?
In comes Pledger.
You know what? That we talk about 1,000. We never had our party for the 1,000 subscriber. Let's just make it a roast. The party
That'd be funny.
the party is going to be a roast.
Nah, I don't know about that. It's gonna go south quick, dude.
Yeah, once I punch my ticket, I want Jimenez there so I can cook him one last time. Before I go, I gotta cook you one more time, Jimenez.
You know what Jeff is gonna do? He's gonna have a plate, right? A silver platter. 'Cause you're always giving him crap about, and he's gonna have it covered. And when it's time for him to roast you, he's gonna pull the cover off the platter. And he's gonna be giving you the middle finger while he's roasting. Here's your steak.
That is funny. That is funny. Well, fellas, I'm gonna have to call it a day because I got to get back to the office. Speaking of which, if you want to show me some love, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, I want to show the picture, but
no, man, I sent you a new photo, dude.
You know what? We're gonna show the picture today.
Don't show that photo from 30 pounds ago.
Yeah, we're gonna show.
Come
that
on,
photo,
man.
There you go, man.
Hey, Jeff, I'm wearing a T-shirt today that I could never fit in.
What's the T-shirt? What is it?
It's a New Orleans Saints T-shirt.
Of course.
Anyway, my number right there is 210-508-0369, 210-508-0369. If you have any need for financial services such as retirement accounts, investment accounts, insurances like life, long-term care, disability. I also have people on my team that do auto insurance and homeowners insurance as well. So if you need help with that, I can get you in contact with people who broker that out and shop out for the best rates. Give me a call, 210-508-0369, 210-508-0369. Joe, Jeff, thank you so much for everything. Jeff, again, I'll be on Locked On Spurs today. Is it already up?
It's about to be up in 1 minute, so check it out. Jimenez is on there. Joe, by the way, I did not have tech issues. It was Jimenez.
Yeah, I had tech
Jimenez.
issues. My internet went out yesterday for about an hour and a half.
Wow.
We tried. We had it scheduled for like noon, and then we jumped on and we started recording. And I thought it was me because it's just my luck. And I said, and we stopped. I said, Jimenez, I think something's wrong with your end. And he got off. We tried in. He tried his cell phone and everything. And then about 12:45, Jimenez calls me or texts me. He says, "You know what? My internet's out."
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do. I'm gonna send you this picture of Mike, right? So if he has tech issues again, you could just use that picture that he hates, and then we'll just have that so you can cook him. Put that as avatar, right? When you're doing Locked On Spurs.
I don't even know where that photo's from. You're like, I sent it to you. I never sent you that photo.
And what I'm gonna do every time Mike is late, I'm gonna go ahead and just have that picture instead of the
Mike
video.
was late today?
Yeah, he was late today. So every time he's late,
Mike.
we're just gonna put that picture on there. That'll learn him. That'll learn him. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jeff, for joining us. We appreciate you. Go and check out the new episode of Locked On Spurs and follow Jeff on the X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Thanks, Jeff. We'll talk to you later, man.
All right, man.
Later,
you,
guys. Yep, later.
Thank you, brother. Again, Devontae Adams is looking for a home, and apparently he wants to go to my Saints. Let's see if my team can make that happen. And I'm looking at an article right now about some guy who won an auction for a Taylor Swift autographed guitar, spent thousands of dollars just to destroy it. That could have been donated to charity. That could have been given to a church. That could have been given to an animal shelter. Instead, he said it was a joke because I hated the fact that she endorsed Kamala Harris.
So he's going to spend that much money,
thousands of dollars, to take a hammer to an autographed guitar.
That's dumb, dude.
Go F yourself. Not you, that guy.
He could have just given all that money, like you said, to anybody in need, as far as like food banks, the homeless, something, even kids, Like,
he thinks it's funny. It makes him look like a that's a moron.
That's a jackass, dude.
It makes him look like an idiot.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
he can.
Yeah, he can. But guess what? We can also say that he looks like an asshole. That too. Dollar. All right, fellas, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be talking about Thursday night football. We'll see if the Astros still stay in the playoffs. It's do or die for the Astros today. It's a 1:30 first pitch on ABC against the Detroit Tigers. Best of 3. They lost game 1 yesterday, 3-1. Let's see if they can bounce back today. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Everyone, hit the like button on the way out. See ya.